The United States government is currently preparing to launch a strike against Iran using advanced hypersonic missiles for the very first time in history. Bloomberg revealed today that U.S. Central Command has formally requested high-level approval to deploy sophisticated Dark Eagle missiles, also known as the Long-Range Hypersonic Weapon System. The United States government maintains a very high level of secrecy regarding these particular missiles. There is no official record of them ever being used against any foreign country or militant group, nor has there been any formal public announcement confirming that they have entered into active service. The missile costs up to $15 million. Apparently, its speed exceeds Mach 5. In fact, its range is between 2,800 and 3,500 kilometers. This means that at 3,500 kilometers, this missile could launch from roughly Central Africa and strike central Iran without any problem. There is a belief among analysts that the United States Central Command may propose deploying these advanced missile systems within Israel to ensure comprehensive coverage of the entire Iranian nation and facilitate the execution of exceptionally rapid, highly effective military strikes reaching deep into the heart of Iranian territory, which is particularly significant given that we are discussing the deployment of hypersonic missiles on this occasion. Yet, well, these missile launch platforms look exactly like this, featuring 2 missiles on each, as we can see right here. The U.S. government has previously conducted a series of rigorous tests on this specific missile system. This footage captures one such test, clearly demonstrating the muscle data. High launch speed and significant explosive power, a crucial design factor. I am wondering why exactly the United States Central Command would have requested this and asked for these missiles to be utilized. This assessment is based on newly acquired intelligence reports confirming that the Iranian military has now successfully relocated its various mobile missile platforms much deeper into the interior of Iranian territory. This strategic shift enables the Iranian side to execute extremely rapid surprise strikes that would be exceptionally difficult to counter, primarily because they are now positioned well beyond the effective operational range of our HIMARS platforms. The critical platforms for launching strikes against these platforms will be unable to hit them. The range is also extremely far. At the same time, warplanes will be unable to engage and strike these platforms, not only because of the terrain, but because they are too far away. Naturally, it will be difficult for these aircraft to strike precision or guided missiles from this distance, and the aircraft must, in order to eventually break through, and it has been proven that these specific aircraft will sometimes, you need to fly low to strike these platforms in some terrains. This specific development effectively opened the door for the Iranian side to fully exploit the underlying issue at hand. Utilizing only the most rudimentary defense systems, they managed to strike a significant number of our advanced warplanes, including the F-15s, which the United States military later deployed for sensitive special operations deep inside Iranian territory. Consequently, in order to effectively resolve this critical situation, CENTCOM is now required to obtain the Dark Eagle that we are all currently talking about right now. These missiles will provide an extremly rapid response. And as soon as the United States detects, for instance, that missiles have been launched from a specific location or that there is movement at a certain point, rather than waiting for aircraft to scramble and the area launched immediately to carry out the necessary strikes and neutralize the threat, because the danger is heading away. In the Arabian Gulf region, it is possible that this time strikes could target critical oil depots through which Iran could strike at energy supplies, especially since Iran is facing a naval blockade that is causing them significant economic losses. But the problem for the United States is that there aren't many of these missiles. Believe it or not, the United States has fewer than 10 Dark Eagle missiles. The reports only mention a total of 8 missiles here. Now, these are the specific capabilities the U.S. possesses, which opens the door to the stark reality that these missiles could be deployed for offensive strikes should the conflict escalate further. Until military and Iran's lack of engagement in negotiations to strike the Iranian leadership and what remains of it in fortified areas, especially since the explosive capacity of these missiles is extremely high and much more powerful than the missiles carried by aircraft such as the F-18 or other fighter jets and this missile. It is certainly not easy at all. Of course, regarding the U.S. Central Command's current request, which entities are supposed to approve the actual use of these missiles by the U.S. Central Command? February 21st, there must be a approval from the U.S. Department of Defense, the Pentagon, followed by the U.S. High Command. We are talking about the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Then it goes to the desk of U.S. President Donald Trump for approval. This is the decisive and critical decision before these missiles are transferred directly into the hands of U.S. Central Command to be used against Iran. What is significant about this whole story and these reports is that they come in light of reports published by Axios confirming that U.S. Central Command Commander Brett Cooper will brief the U.S. President on a new plan to carry out short, effective strikes deep inside Iran. The real danger inherent in this entire hypersonic missile narrative is that there are a multitude of potential courses of action, specific options that Admiral Brett Cooper has already presented or is currently preparing to present to the President, continuing to maintain the naval blockade, launching targeted strikes against critical Iranian infrastructure, or deploying significant ground forces to seize and maintain control over the Strait of Hormuz. Without we are talking about the specific strategic islands such as the Talms, Abu Musa and Siri, which could potentially fall under the direct total control of the United States military forces. In that hypothetical scenario, the United States would effectively dominate the entire Strait of Hormuz, while leaving the nation of Iran with nothing more than the surrounding coastlines. And here then the United States will be able to ensure the status of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz in general, as well as the possibility of using U.S. special forces to secure uranium.